Hey you guys, welcome back. I wanted to do this video this week because I know that the holidays are approaching and this can be a very difficult and stressful and exhausting time of year, regardless of what you're going through. So if you are going through something that is very difficult, I want to give you some tips to help manage your emotional state, your mental state. And even if you're not going through anything difficult, like I said, this is just the time of the year where we are just pulled in a ton of different directions. And it is super important to be very mindful of this time of year and really understand how to take care of yourself. So I want to go over the things that I specifically do during this time of year, regardless of what's going on in my life. So these are things that have helped me when I was having those years where I was going through a lot, and these are things that I'm mindful of pretty much every year, actually, regardless of what's going on in my life, because it just is a very stressful time of year, even though it's supposed to be a magical time of year and it's supposed to be such a happy time of year. There are a lot of expectations that we do put on this time of year, which can really hurt our ability to be happy and present. So one of the first things that I try to be very mindful of, and I have to be honest, I think I really start this around mid-November. So for us here in the US, when in November we celebrate Thanksgiving, so we go into Thanksgiving and then into December and into the holidays. And so about mid-December, I start to be very aware of what I'm doing because I want to know my limits. So knowing your limits means this is not the time of year where we are going to be a people pleaser, where we are going to overextend ourselves, where we are going to just exhaust ourselves by saying yes to everyone and everything. So this means that I'm trying to be more mindful during these times of years to not go above and beyond and put myself in states where I know that it's going to mentally drain me or emotionally drain me. Now, if you're dealing with people in your life that are emotionally draining, that's a little bit of a different situation, but it still embodies this know your limits. So it still is about protecting your own energy. So knowing my limits around the holidays also means that I am not cooking holiday dinners completely by myself. I am not trying to take over the world. I'm not trying to not ask for help. I'm not trying to do it all by myself and not give anyone else a task. This means that I'm not overextending myself and jamming my schedule and packing my life with so many activities and things to do with absolutely no downtime to kind of rest. So I balance my life and my schedule during this time of year to make sure that I am giving myself time to recuperate. Overextending yourself also means for me that if there are years where I am feeling a lot of stress, that I'm not going to go out and constantly be buying all kinds of gifts. If this is the year where everyone gets a gift card or all the presents get wrapped in gift bags, that's totally fine. It's just about understanding what are your limits and making sure that while we have so many more things to do during this time of year and the list can get very long, making sure that you know that not everything has to look exactly the way you thought it was going to look. You don't have to do every single task. If you don't get to ice skating, you don't get to ice skating. If you don't get to, buy all the gifts that you thought you wanted to buy for everyone, then that's okay. You don't have to wrap every present like it looks like it was professionally done with all these ribbons. We don't need to have this perfection lifestyle. We're just supposed to learn how to balance all of the extra things that are coming into our lives during this time of year, responsibilities and tasks, and balancing them with proper self-care. The next thing that I tell people to be super mindful of during this time of year is be realistic. When we're on social media and we see these gorgeous homes and these tabletops and these extravagant desserts that people are making from scratch, or just the mom, in your mom group that's just doing it all, it seems. Be realistic to what life is actually about and what this time of year is actually about, and understand that not every picture perfect reel or video or short or whatever it is that you're watching or looking at is what's really going on. So when we see the picture perfect, holiday photos with families, We don't see the kids crying 5 minutes before those pictures were going down. We don't see how stressed the mother was trying to get all the outfits to match perfectly with everyone. Like, we don't see all of that. We don't see this. We see this beautiful table and like these beautiful arrangements and this amazing dinner, but we don't see the fact that no one at that table is probably related because that person can't stand their own family. Like, there's just things going on behind the surface of every picture and every video that you are looking at during this time of year. So make sure that you remember that. It's not about focusing on the negatives of situations, but it is about being realistic. Life is real, and life is not about perfect holidays and perfect family times where everyone's getting along. That's just not real life. You may absolutely have those times of year where nothing's going crazy and things seem pretty calm. That's amazing. Enjoy it. But this time of year can still bring on stress, exhaustion, and depression, regardless of actually going through something really catastrophic in your life. So it's just super important to be mindful of those things. The reason why I want you to be more mindful of these things is because when you look at pictures or watch videos, or you go to a holiday party and you're seeing, your cousin just got engaged and you're still single, and or whatever that is, there's always stories that come with videos and pictures and conversations that you're having with someone else. So being realistic or just being more mindful of those stories will help you to not compare yourself to anyone else and just be incredibly present. The next thing for me personally that I try to be very mindful of during this time of year is practicing slowing down. And for me personally, this is something that is not a chore. That's not how I want to say it, but it is something that I do have to be very mindful of, because if you are a person like myself, or even if you're not, I just feel like the world that we live in is so go, 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 and it moves so fast, and there's so much more on us than ever before that it's hard at times to slow down, and we have to practice this and be mindful of it. The reason why the slowing down is important is because, number one, it's going to give you the ability to actually enjoy what's happening right now. So we're supposed to be enjoying the stillness, the quiet. This is winter, and it doesn't matter if you live in a cold climate or warm climate, but obviously if you live in a colder climate, this is going to make more sense to you. But this is the time where we're supposed to just breathe, and we're supposed to be hibernating, and we're supposed to be resting, and we're not supposed to be just going, and never stopping to kind of smell the roses, to be super aware and appreciative of where you are, the season of your life. And no matter where you are in life, there's always something to be grateful for, and practicing that gratitude in the simplistic of forms is what's going to help you to actually enjoy this time of year and not feel as though it's a completely stressful time of year. I think when we slow down, we start learning and practicing how to manage our stresses better and being more aware of what our triggers actually are. I know for me, someone who is highly sensitive, when I get overwhelmed or overworked, I know that those are the times where I'm consciously taking more of a pause so I can learn how to manage those feelings and take care of myself better than I probably previously had been. So it's kind of like your opportunity to give yourself a little pause, reboot, whether you're taking the rest of, the year off, whether you're taking a week off, whether you're or even if you can't, just slowing down to learn, what am I doing right now that I don't need to be doing, and where in my life am I overextending myself and packing everything in so quickly and that it's causing me unnecessary stress. And the last thing, I want to give you some quick things to be mindful of. And I'm not going to go into too much detail with these things because they're kind of self-explanatory, but I want you to really absorb what I'm saying. So the first thing is, every day I want you to do something that feeds your soul, something that actually calms you down, something that actually centers you. And it could be the simplest thing. For me, this entire week, because I'm just coming off of not feeling well, has been about resting. And resting means doing nothing. not trying to, take on the world, not trying to cook every single night, not trying to, if the laundry is getting backed up, that's cool. We're going to let that happen. Slowing down and doing something that actually feeds you. Is it going for a walk? Is it giving yourself more exercise? Is it practicing being extremely present with your children? Is it planning a date night with yourself? What is it that you know you need right now that's going to help you to just get zen? Number 2, this is a great time to be practicing self-parenting and self-awareness. So if you have been following me for a while and you know basically the nuts and bolts of what I talk about every single day, I'm always talking about self-parenting. How can you be more mindful of this and take better care of it? And start practicing that right now. We don't have to wait until New Year's and create these resolutions and try to be like our best self. You can start right now, mid-December, and start working on yourself immediately. Number 3, listening to calming or relaxing or whatever music is going to like inspire you. For me personally, music is a big part of my life. It completely changes my mood no matter what it is. It helps to bring out emotions that maybe you're not comfortable feeling right then and there, or things that maybe still need to come up to the surface. It can energize you, it can relax you. So try throughout the day listening to something that's either going to energize you or make you feel calm or feeding your mind. Next thing is make sure we're eating good foods. I know it is super easy to just like overindulge during this time of year, but me personally, being highly sensitive, as much as I will definitely go through sugar cravings for sure, and I love this time of year, I actually find that I eat the worst in the summer months versus the winter months, because in the winter months I'm very mindful of what I'm consuming, because here in New England, where it's like cold and dreary during this time of year, and some days or weeks we can have like hardly any sun at all, for me it definitely affects my mood and my spirit and how I'm feeling. And I want to make sure that I'm just feeding myself good, nutritious foods, because quite frankly, I just feel better when I'm eating better and drinking more water. The next couple things are, for me, very important, and they're things that definitely relax me and soothe me, but get plenty of exercise and take lots of baths. So get the salts out, sit in the tub, read a book, get your zen on, unwind. It is a vibe for sure. If you are not a tub person, even all you guys out there, get into a bathtub, take a long hot shower. Heck, even buy one of those like just benches for your shower if you don't have a tub, and just sit and let the water hit you. Water is healing, water is soothing, water will calm you. And so learn how to just have more self-care throughout the week. So I hope this video has given you some great tips and insight on how to manage your stress a little bit better during this time of year. While I know it can be very overwhelming and some of these things are very simplistic, it is the little things that are actually going to help you to manage any stress or depression or exhaustion or sadness that you're feeling during this time of year. So please, please, please take the best care of yourself during this time. Happy holidays, you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.